On. All right, yeah, welcome to the live. We're gonna get settled here. Looks like I'm gonna be live tonight with you all talking about this effortless marketing. Let me see this one. Okay, 1 second. I'm getting feedback. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that part of the computer off because we are going live today on 3 platforms. One is a little different. We have Instagram. We all know we've been having trouble live on Instagrams by themselves have been really like wonky. So we saw that we could restream to Instagram as well. So we're trying that out new today. So let us know if you can hear us on Instagram. Love to hear if that's working. And I'm waiting for TeeCee to get on the live. So we're going to get started. And we have a lot to share with you today. We are always talking about really taking your marketing to the next level by understanding how to make it more seamless without you trying to work so hard. We believe that working smarter, not harder, is really a thing. So we don't want you to think that it has to be hard. We don't want you to think that you have to do everything that everyone else is doing just to get the results that you need. This is really a intentional type of journey when you have a business that is your business. It is definitely made for you because usually from your desires to express a gift, some problem you solve. You create something really well. And so now you're able to bring that to the market and other people can benefit from that. So that's normally the case. And there's also other opportunities to just, build something to create money, to have a better life, create generational wealth by teaching your family how to have a business, which is a great asset. I have TeeCee coming on with me. She's going to be talking about a lot of the marketing on the back end when it comes down to working in your business, not on your business. I'll be doing introductions. I am a business coach, and so I do not work in your business. I support you on the front end to make sure that you have the knowledge and information necessary to run your business and be sustainable. And let me add TeeCee to this live. And I want to make sure that we are really asking questions. If you have anything that's going on in your business, and you feel like, I just need a little bit of advice. These lives are really geared to make sure you have a space for that. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Put in the chat where you're from, where you're listening from. We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So that's new. All right. And today we're just going to talk about some more lead generation tools. We had pulled out a list last time. It's like over 150 that I provide for my clients. It's just a basic checklist, okay? It's something that I haven't even used as a lead generation tool for myself because I know that people just need ideas. And so we've been going through some of what those lead generation tools look like. If you are just right now, maybe in a holiday season, and you need some more ideas to see how you can bring your products and services to the market, we're going to be talking about that and giving you some advice. I'm Allegra Jackson, the Marketing Medulla, and I'm a business coach and marketing strategist and a business analyst. And I love supporting women entrepreneurs. That is really my jam. And I really want to make sure that you have sustainable business and business growth. So that means I help you start, grow, and scale your business through my coaching programs. Make sure that you have a wonderful guide to really building that business and not skipping over, the planning, not skipping over how to really understand who your target audience is and not just promoting to everyone. And also making sure you are sustainable enough to get the funding that you need for your business moving forward. So those are some of the things that I provide, and I'll put some information in the chat for you all to connect with me. But TeeCee, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get started with the conversation. TeeCee, I think you're muted.
I'm sorry about that. So I was saying, yay, we're live on Instagram, and hopefully Instagram doesn't like show us off because I was live on Instagram I think earlier today, and for some reason it keeps like showing us off. But it's so exciting to know that we're on Instagram now. But hey everyone, my name is TC. I'm a launch and sales automation strategist, and like Allegra said, she doesn't work in your business. I work in your business, okay, so that you can work on your business. Because at the end of the day, somebody has to, but not you, okay? That's where I come in, basically helping you launch, scale, put in the right things in your business, simple automated system, helping you get the work done just so that you are able to focus on your zone of genius and just, take up the role of being the boss that you are working on your business. Now, that's more like a summary of where I come in. And Allegra, you're talking about us talking about the 150 lead generation. But it's important you should have as many lead generation tool, as possible, achieving several goals for you, right? So I'm excited that we're talking about this because, like you said, the idea behind these lives that we are having is more or less to get everyone in the know that you can market without necessarily without doing it the hard way. And that's maybe why we call it the effortless marketing. So, yes, I'm excited, and we're on Instagram. Okay. Thank you, Allegra. Over to you. Can you still hear me?
Okay, I'm here. I'm just trying to manage this thing because we're supposed to be live on different platforms, and I'm checking on Instagram. I'm checking here. It's a little bit of a test too, TC. So I'm just really seeing how that works because yeah, Instagram is really weird, and that's why we wanted to just add this to the pot. So um, it's awfully late for you, TC. Yeah, it is late for TC. um, so I want to, start off really just talking about it because Cece, you said, working in your business and working on your business, they are two different things. And, identifying what you really need is really important. I think that sometimes we have to sit back and think about where we are in business and what we need. If, we don't understand technology, which is something that we're going to talk about in a little bit too, because I'm doing a lot more of that training on the front side when it comes to business owners, right? And a lot of it is because we just don't know what all these new apps and systems are asking of us, right? We don't really understand technology in a sense where there's a lot of changes happening rapidly. So I've actually coached people on, hey, that button is no longer there. It's on this side now. And just being able to understand how to automate and make things very easy. I think it was a great example, I believe, when we were talking to Sandra, our VIP of the Wing community. And we were talking yesterday, I believe it was, and saying that, having this shift and this change in how you do business and how you do life, it's always going to be difficult. And so going into marketing, I mean, you can have a passion for your business and say, oh, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. But then when it comes to the marketing side, that's real work. 80% of your time, your money, your efforts, all of that is going to go into marketing in the beginning of your business. And so, either you're going to learn it yourself or you're going to pay someone to do it. And so we came up with, just talking about some of these lead magnets that are going to help and support you while you're building your business in the front end. I do believe that, your business should really be paying for itself. And in the beginning, it's not always making money. And so you got to find ways that you can market your business that's not going to, bust you over the head, is what we like usually say, like that overhead being super high and your bottom line being too low. You have to be able to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing in your marketing, if it's, putting I know people go, "Oh, I want to put billboards out and I want to put my business on a bus." It's like, great, but do you have the budget for that? And some of the things that we even do in business planning is actually putting together a marketing budget that's going to help you tell whoever needs to send you money, listen, this is how much I need. If you're, doing business and you know you need to market more, you need to know how much money to ask for in order to increase your marketing budget. So that's just one thing I want to hit on because we got to be really good planners of how we're going to strategically market our business and who we're going to do that to. Because if you have marketing materials that you're building in your business, like flyers and brochures and all these things, they have to represent the people that you're marketing to. So those are some of the things that are on that list. And I was telling people, TC, that if they needed support in that they could definitely get on my get on my discovery call. We could talk about what kind of avenues they need to go through. But I also want to highlight some things because TC and I are doing a 3-day masterclass. And TC, I wanted to talk to you about those dates too, because I want to give people ample enough time to be able to come into the space, learn about what it means to actually do this process of presenting themselves on lives and audio. And we were talking to some people in our community, and they were really struggling around how to moderate a room, how to open up and set up a live, how to, multitask and live stream in different places at one time, like we're doing right now. And not just the technology of it, but also being able to, work through what kind of topics of interest they really want to talk about, work through all of the areas that they feel like they need support, right? And so I want to make sure that we kind of tell you guys about that. Sorry, y'all. So have to make sure that you have support in these areas where you're not so much struggling to start a live, start a room, and actually have a conversation with your audience and with people that are really looking to hear from you. And so I'm going to also be talking about that on some of the platforms that we already use, TC, because right now we're not on Facebook, but we are live on LinkedIn, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Instagram. And these are three different platforms that have totally different audiences, right? Like you have people that and I'll pull up some statistics for y'all because as I've been learning, this is not about opinion, this is not about guessing. We use data to make decisions, and so I want to make sure that we're really understanding which platforms we need to be in. I think we talked about that in previous rooms. How if you're serving a crowd that's 40 and over, right, there are some platforms that really are going to cater to that crowd, that they already have proven numbers and results to show you that, hey, if you really want to talk to this audience, you need to be on this platform. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but TC, I want you to kind of introduce into this conversation because I want to relate this to some things that we're going to be talking about in the masterclass and making sure that people understand that part of your lead generating tools or lead generating activity is really going to come from identifying where your audience really is and how to have conversations to reach them there. And as we already have spoken about, video is so much more effective than if you do like a static post, or a photo of some kind. People want to see movement. People want to hear sound, right? And so we want to make sure that you understand how to do these things on video. And audio marketing is ever growing now. It's not going to go away. So that's going to be great for you to understand how to run these spaces and make sure that your brand is always heard. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But TC, I would love to hear your add to this, and I'm going to get my system together.
So somebody said to me that's I think that's like early this week, and she asked me a very brilliant question, and she said, "TC, I know that everyone is like online right now. Do you think that just for entrepreneurship and all of that sake, do you think that social media is going to get extinct one day?" Um, and I said, "Do you think the world is going to get extinct one day?" And she's like, "How does that relate?" I said, "Because you see, The world keep evolving. Social media is going to keep evolving. Where we are right now when it comes down to social media is totally different from where we were, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, right? Um, it's the same thing with audio. I feel like with technology, it only keeps getting better. The more we use this thing, see, I'm like, why do we like to keep thinking about 100 years ago, 200 years ago, when we are yet to make money now? Like the audio space is what is trending right now. Videos are what are trending right now. It's definitely going to be trending till, at least 5 years, right? Now that is more data to leverage on, to take advantage on. Like you're bothering yourself for 10 years ago. When that time comes, we're definitely going to tap into that and go with it. Right now, the audio space, people, it's convenient for people, right? Because it's like on the go kind of communication channel. People can do 1001 things while listening to you, while taking action, right? People can take action even without being like, 100% to you. Now, it makes sense and more relatable when you go live. For example, somebody says to me, "Sister, why do you prefer to go live?" And I said, because I know you prefer to see me live, right? Certain things are easier said than done. I could just write something and I say it, and when you read it, it might mean something different for you. But you see, the gestures, when you read the leaves, they just, it's different. It's more relatable. People understand you better. People can visualize. See, we're all visual beings, right? Now when people see these things moving, it makes more sense because then it stick, right? There's just so many analogy when it comes down to the video marketing and the audio marketing right now. Now, the question is, are you going to sit down there and keep asking yourself, is this going to be relevant in 10 years, 20 years, 1 billion years? Or are you just going to take action and leverage the spaces that your ideal customers are right now? Are you going to take advantage of where you can find them, where you can meet them, where you can communicate your message efficiently to them, where and they would definitely understand what you're saying? That's the question. Now, for me, I feel like that's why we're having this, because come 2024, nobody wants to know that you don't know how to work around these things, right? Your ideal customers would not understand that you cannot efficiently use video marketing, for example, maybe YouTube, or maybe your ideal customers do not care if you don't know how to go live in all of the places. Like they don't know, they don't care. What they know and they care about is, are you where they are at that particular time? Yes or no? If you're not there, they look for somebody else that is there, because if you're not there, somebody else is there doing the same thing and providing them with the same solution that they are seeking from you, right? So you want to take action. You want to make sure that you are effortlessly marketing um to your ideal clients. And that's where the masterclass comes in, because the masterclass is simple. The goal is simple: give you the tool, right, that you need to level up your marketing effortlessly come 2024, using the audio space and the video space. Now the question is, how do I do this without being all over the place? And that's another added advantage, right? Because you can be in so many places, doing so many things, and just in one DM the word moderator, right? And just in one space, right? So it's I feel for me it's a masterpiece, right? Because if you're not using live streams, depending on like, hold on, I'm going to pass this to you now, because but I want to say something. um if you have products, if you sell products, and you think that this conversation has nothing to do with you, you think you do not need to sell or market using your live streams, you think for some reason The live streams and the audio space is only meant for people that sell services. You're sleeping on gold, because we want to see the product. We want to see what it looks like. There is some, there's something online called what I ordered and what I bought. Right? There's something called online where basically you're putting pictures. Oh my gosh, have you heard this? People actually steal other people's product pictures and then use it as theirs. And what makes you different? How are we so sure you're not doing the same thing? You show it to us, right? How are we so sure that you're not copying those those content from somebody somewhere else and then just doing the graphics and then posting it? Tell it to us. We want to see the gestures. We want to identify with you. Whatever solution you say you have, let us identify it with you. Let us put it, like, put your face, put this, bring it together and make it make sense in our head. So that's just a tip of what this masterclass is really all about. And I hope that you're able to take advantage of it, because when Allegra mentioned it, I said, you know what, this is going to be a next level opportunity to everyone interested in taking their business to the next step come 2024. So yes, I give the mic to you, Allegra. Can Allegra hear me? I hear you.
So, I love how you're relating it to just really understanding how to present yourself at the forefront of the business on live streams, audio, and we know how important that is, TC. And I think that you know, you said something that I think was really pivotal about if you're not there, someone else will be. And that's something that we have to catch on to, because when I started out in business 18 years ago, y'all, this is the funniest part about it, is that I've grown. I've grown through this process. I think business for me is very simple. It may not always be easy, but it's very simple. And if you follow a model process that works, most likely it's gonna work for you. But you have to do the work. You have to really do the work. And I remember even today in Sarah's room, we were talking about what supports you when it comes down to, getting your business out there in so many different ways. And I was talking about not forgetting about the grassroots efforts, right? And TC, you've mentioned it, and just being able to be one-on-one with people. We know that the digital space is ever growing. We know that people are going to constantly use lives and audio, and people that are in the market doing the same thing you do, they are showing up in places that you're not. And
Yeah.
this is for all of us, right? I had to check myself in business, because sometimes when you do it for a very long time, you forget about the basics. You forget about what you started with, right? You're just kind of running the business. And then you stop to think, well, what was I doing in the beginning that worked so well for me? And for me, a lot of it was just doing basic, simple door to door marketing, putting my flyers out, right? Passing out brochures and business cards at events and building relationships, making sales calls. Like, these are really, like, simple things that if you are so focused on, and we're going to talk about mainly live streams and audios in this masterclass. We're not going to teach you how to do door to door sales and sales calls or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to understand that everything is a part of a marketing mix. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't limit yourself to just saying, okay, well, I'm just going to learn how to use digital marketing. I'm just going to learn how to, build my business on social media. Because really what happens is live streams and audio give you the stage to practice in the real world, right? It gives you a stage to practice all the things that you need for the real world. So if I'm really bad at public speaking, and I really need to be able to speak for my employer at a conference, or speak for my business at an event, or go set up as a vendor, right? I need to be able to know how to speak to my audience. And sometimes we take it for granted that these are stages that we can actually practice. I did that on Clubhouse a lot, right? I did that a lot on Clubhouse. When I first started, y'all, there were all kind of knots in my throat, stomach gargling, right? Like, it's always very nerve-wracking. And then here's another part. This is something we're going to talk about a lot in the master class. People are going to always tell you what they don't like. People will always tell you.
Mhm.
So, when we practice on these stages to do live streams and audio, you're going to get people in your comments that are going to tell you crazy things. You're going to get people in your DMs that are going to tell you crazy things. You're going to have people come on your live stages and tell you what they think about what you said and how it's not right and how you may not know what you're talking about. And that's okay. Because
Yeah.
when you really have a presence in your business as a brand expert of you and what you're doing in your
Mhm.
business, you're not going to be perfect at doing everything. I've had so many conversations on live stages where I go back to the replay and I'm like, yeah, that probably wasn't right. I probably I probably shouldn't have said that, right? But here's the truth of the matter is that if you are very diligent in your growth and honest in your process, you can always go back and you can teach from that place. I teach from that place. I go, yeah, y'all listen to this audio, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Right? I'm willing to make the mistake first and be an example to other people to say this is probably how you shouldn't do it. But you got to be brave enough to want to be on a live stream like me and TC are right now, any time of the day. Whether it's, listen, I know people that are like, I get off of work really late and I work all day and I don't have time. Baby, this is never ending. It's going to be here at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning. TC, what
True.
time is it over there?
1:33.
1 o'clock in the morning, y'all. So
Yeah,
we
like
we
almost,
have this.
almost two, really. Almost two. Did you hear that?
Sorry, I have this echo because I have it. The way that they have is live streaming on Instagram is that if you have it, the extreme key in your computer side, you get an echo on both sides. So I got to fix that. This is kind of a test as well, y'all. So use the echo. But I want TC to chime in too again because we're gonna this is some of the lead generating tools that lead generating platforms that I use, right? So when you're coming on live streams, whether it's because you're practicing for your public stages in real life, whether you're just practicing for public speaking in general, there are people that pay other people to teach them how to speak in public, right? You got stages you can just practice on every day. And who said this to me? They were like, "Oh, I'm just going to go to YouTube University and I'm just going to keep learning." Hey, listen, whatever floats your boat, right? But the point is that there's nothing ever stopping you from learning and practicing. And we're going to talk about, Facebook is where I live stream. Instagram now is now a new live stream from the StreamYard, but I usually go straight to the platform on Instagram and the live stream, right? So there are functions on both sides now. There's functions on the app side of Instagram, which a lot of you have been getting like these little glitches and really upset about that, right? And pissed off throwing the phone. So, those are things that are going to happen, especially when, you're in your zone. Like I know a lot of people are like, I'm going live every single day for 21 days of Christmas, and then they get on the live stream and it's like it doesn't work. So I've seen people get very wise about saying, well, it's just a platform, so let me go to the next one. Let me go to Facebook, let me go to YouTube, let me go to LinkedIn. And Twitter also has a live platform from StreamYard, from what I just learned today. So there's really a way for you to not only learn functions to go live on your platforms and use them wisely to speak to the audience that needs to hear you, right? This is really where the brave heart in you comes out. Is, are you brave enough to show up for them? Because they're already waiting, right? But are you brave enough to show up for them? And being on video for some people is really scary, right? And also talking in audio can have actually, and we're going to talk about this in the masterclass. You may have to show up on audio first just to get comfortable before you go to the video. There's ways to strategize this in a really kind of easier way through this process. But TC, I want to pass it over to you and I want to check my audio again.
Okay. Yeah. No. No. That's great. You know, the thing is, right now you can do YouTube, Facebook. So if you don't know, it's not an issue. If you don't know, it's not a problem. You see, where the problem is when you know, but you're not taking action. Now that's what the problem is, right? So how do I mean? You can actually go live, all of it is at once. And you know the very beautiful part is that you can schedule your lives. So people that have 1001 reasons why they can't do something, I give you 1001 reasons why you should do it. So if, for example, right? If for example you say, okay, you know what, I close up late, and but my audience like when I check like my data, people are mostly available Thursdays, Fridays. One trick you can do is go to this third party app, for example, right? Pre-record your lives, okay, and then schedule it to go live, right? Schedule to go live across all channels, because you can do Twitter X, right? You can do Facebook, you do YouTube, you can do LinkedIn, you can do Instagram now, like literally all at the same time, and you're just gonna show up like you're doing it. At Do you know how many times I like push out my lives and I am not live, but it looks like I am live, but I'm not live. Right? Now that's brilliant, because then you don't necessarily have to put yourself in this whole box of like, oh, you see, there's always a way around things. The most important thing is, are you ready to take action? Now, as long as you say yes, I am ready to take action, there are super easy ways for you to achieve it effortlessly, right? And I feel like that's what the masterclass is about, right? When we talk about, showing up, positioning yourself, right, as a thought leader, positioning yourself as that person where we need to buy the product from, because when we keep talking about thought leaders, okay, it feels like, oh, these spaces are only meant for service providers. No, even if you sell product, we want to see it. We want you to tell us the benefits behind. Show us, let us see it, let us feel it, the benefits behind your product, what you're offering to us, what you're selling to us, right? And so all of those excuses you keep pushing out, they're no longer excuses. And like I said, you don't know about it. Well, we can pass that, right? We can understand that. But you not taking action, now that you know that it is affordable, it is available, it is super convenient for you to strategically position yourself for your customers to see you, and you still don't take action, and that's on you, right? That's on you. Allegra, does it sound better now? It sounds better now. Okay. Yeah, over to you then.
You know, this isn't a really like a lot of times I think people are really fearful, and I don't really like to use that word 'cause I'm really starting to be very mindful of my words, right? Like but people do get very self-sabotaging about this because it's not something, and this is why I love when we do the room on Monday. I do it in the Wind Chateau. We're on Clubhouse, y'all. So, we're talking about audio.
Yeah.
And in the Wind Chateau, I do a room where I talk about how to create your 9 to 5 mentality. And that is really important because we come from this space of learning how to say yes, ma'am, no, sir. Tell me what to do, kind of attitude. And we have to be very mindful about, disciplining ourselves to be the one overseeing ourselves. 'Cause there's no longer someone overseeing us, right? There's no longer someone telling you, hey, you got to go to work at 9 a.m. There's no one telling you, the data points, because in any business, any employee you work for, you're shown like what they need you to do because they've already done the data work. They've already seen like what their audience needs, and they've already asked the questions on the polls and the surveys. They've already done the work. So a lot of times when we're not showing up on live streams and audio, is because we've just not really done it before.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the truth. Like, if you're not used to something and it's uncomfortable or it's different, you're not going to want to show up, and that's natural. It's natural for us to feel uncomfortable doing something for the first time, but that's what entrepreneurship is, right? I talk about something in the business planning process where if you take calculated risks, then you'll be more successful because you have to be able to take a chance on something new and different that no one's ever done before. And that's really what's innovation, right? And so people that have the most authentic content, if you go to like a Facebook Live, right, and you see that they created something that they get up every morning and they Like there was one lady on Facebook that I would like see every morning, and she would get up with a cup of tea, and she would just talk about, just morning affirmations and things that really got your day started and gave you words of wisdom. And so people would tune in and just thank her, but she was really selling teacups and stuff. Like she was selling a lot of self-care items that were available for people. And I think that when we look at going, like that was so different, right? It gave me a whole new look on what it is visually that she was talking about. Now, audio, we talked about that being something that's more comfortable for people because let's just be real, like I get people that are like, okay, it's easier to just be behind the phone and not show my face because like I didn't do my makeup today, or my hair's not done, or I'm still in the bed, right? Like I remember when we first started on Clubhouse, which is the one of the audio marketing apps that I've been using for years now. I can't believe it's been so long. But I started there just like promoting what I did and talked about what I did, right? It wasn't even like promotion. It was like, let's just get to know these people across the world. This is different. This is weird. You get to go on an app and get people from all over the world. I don't know where you can do that at. And it was very simple because I didn't have to always be out of my bed. I didn't have to always be dressed and ready with makeup on, right? I didn't always have to look a certain way. It was a lot easier. And so starting there from the pandemic, not being so much in front of people anymore, that was big because it really gave me an opportunity to hone in on what I needed to talk about, what people really wanted to hear. I was able to, really like survey and poll people in real time. Like it wasn't a now let me put this poll out and you got to fill in the dots. It was like, okay, let me
Yeah.
ask the questions here on stage and see what y'all think. And we would have just large opportunities to connect with people on both large stages. So being in places where, it's giving you a different audience, like I would have never met some of the celebrities and people that I did when I was on the app. And I'm talking about like Dr. Dre was in the room with me one day, y'all. And I'm like, come on, y'all. Like I'm on stage with Dr. Dre and we're just having a conversation. That's very weird. But, there's some people that are like, "No, I'm not gonna get up there. I'm not gonna talk about my business or what I do." That was your opportunity. And so I really wanna, encourage people, especially through this masterclass, that we're gonna be really focusing on showing up where you need to be because people do need to see you, to TC's point. Like they have to physically see what it is. Imagine always hearing like McDonald's or Home Depot or whatever on the radio, but you never see an actual commercial and you've never been in the store. It's gonna have a different effect because if you're looking at their competitor and their competitor is showing commercials like Harbor Freight or Burger King, let me tell you, they're going to be at Harbor Freight and Burger King because these video commercials give them an advantage, and that's what you're doing when you're going live stream. I've seen people do podcasts in live streams. I've seen people do interviews on live streams. I've seen people do like real live storytelling, and they just go live and they start really like involving their story or a story of someone else that they've, known or worked with. So these are just opportunities to really be able to reach people. And when you visually bring them in, that is a whole nother level of conversion. That's really what it is. It's just a whole nother level of conversion. So yes, if you're really stuck in this place and you're just like, I really operating my business is going well, but I really need to get bold enough to stand up for my business, right? As the front runner of your business, you have to be the one to always stand up for it. So, are you showing up on live streams? Are you showing up on audio? If you're not, why not? Okay. And we want you to DM us the word moderator because if you are struggling in these areas, we can actually bring you into this space. Um, we're doing the 3 days because we know we're going to be working with you interactively, right? We're not just gonna say, "Oh, yeah, do A, B, C." That's why TC's here, 'cause TC, she will work directly on the inside and the back end of the business, but also she works with you. So when we go through the process of showing you, like, "Hey, you can do a live stream," we're gonna actually do a live stream. We're gonna do these things so you have an opportunity to understand what that looks like, and you have the support to do it. But TC, I want you to just kind of tell me, like, because how many, like, what I do with my data, and it's because I see, especially on Instagram, I see where my audience is from the data. Like, I see how many people are reaching that are my friends and who are not my friends. I can see what age groups they're in. I can see if they're what gender they are. I can see what time, which is something you mentioned, that they go live. So when you are looking at this live streams, this is something I'm sure we're going to be able to cover in the masterclass. How important is data in that process?
Okay, let me get a question. You're asking how important data is when it comes down to the channels that we use and how we position ourselves, right? Right? No, you're mute.
Yeah, so like when we're doing our live streams, right? Like there are sometimes I hear people go, "Well, I've been going live every day." And I'll go, okay, well, what time are you going live? And who's usually there at those times, right? And they'd be like, oh, I don't know. I just go live. And there's something that I've noticed when I go live directly on Instagram, right? It'll tell me like who's live at the time at the top. Right? It'll be like, okay, 163 people are live or using the app right now. And then also on the back end of the data, which I love looking at now more than ever, is on Instagram, is the times, right? Because if I'm going live, I really want to be there are there the most too. So how important is data for you when you do your live streams and audio?
Okay, so if you want to speak to yourself, right? Like, it's two things, right? People are available at that particular time to watch you and they don't watch you, but when you share the replay, they still get to watch it, right? Because you see, these days people don't just want to sit down there and listen sometimes, right? However, the trick is it's important that you are available when your audience are available because you see, people have short attention span, whether we agree or not, right? That's what it is. And so data is key here because so I noticed that about 20% of my audience are like available during like my time morning, right? But you see, those are not the people I want to speak to. Now I also realized that from 8 p.m. No, to be very exact, I realized that from 6 p.m. That's like about 12 like about 12 1 p.m., right? Your time kind of, you know, I realized that people start to come live on my page, right? And you know why? Because uh, about 70 to 85% of the people on my page are in the US, in Canada, right? Now, so that's the trick because if you check the timing, that's their daytime. But that's my nighttime. The question is, TC, who do you want to speak to? Who do you want to watch your lives? Even if they don't show up, they're going to actually check it afterwards. But do you want to meet them where they are, not where you think you are, right? Now, because I've noticed that, what do? I have two options. Do I speak to the people in the mornings my time? Those are not my ideal clients, right? Those are just like my people. Those are not the people I want to work with, not because they can't pay me, but because it's going to that's the way I do it. It will conflict with my kids' schedule because this is the life that I live right now, right? And right now, sometimes I say it's convenience. When I say it's convenient, because whatever is convenient for the kids is convenient for me. Whatever is going to be convenient for me to stay present in their lives is convenient for me because that for me is top priority. Now, what do? I decided to move my lives to from 6 downwards. I tell you, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., my time is a sweet spot for lives. Now, what do I do? What if I am feeling too sleepy that day, or I am so tired? I see Dr. Ali saying, damn, it's too late for TC, but you're awake, you're awake, right? That's why I want to meet you, because you're awake. Okay, so that's the most important thing. Can you listen to me? Are you awake? Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk. Right. So data is very key. Data would help you in reorganizing and structuring the way you want to either position yourself, or how you want to communicate your message to people who you want to communicate it. Because not everybody is your ideal client. Not everybody is your dream client or your dream customers or ideal customers. The question is, who do you want to speak to? Where are they right now? Right? Um, how available are they? Data would help you in figuring out what to do. I always say this, there's always a workaround things. Things are not as black and white as we always try to make it seem like, okay, it's either we do this or we don't do this, or it's either we do that or we don't do that. That's not true. It doesn't always work that way. There are always ways to work around things. So now you know that you need to go live, you know that you have to do this, but you're not available. Maybe you have a 9 to 5, right? See, the day I knew that there is a very special market during the weekends, this is like taking advantage of it. Like, that's what I do. I take advantage of opportunities. I see it, I take advantage of it. Like, you might feel it's weird, but for me right now, I really want to, like I was saying to Allegra the other day, I said, see, it might not look convenient for others, but right now, all I want to do is build a strong foundation for my business, so that come 2 years, 5 years, and that is nothing. So come 2 years, 5 years, right? My business is solid. It's financially so, like, it's so strong that nothing can hit it. Even if TC for some, starts to do something else, this has taken that grassroots, right? Financially, I'm talking about financially, right? And so I am committed to putting in the right strategies and the right foundation to ensuring that, 2 5 years from now, I'm like, doing what how I want it to play out. It's playing out that way. But you need to put in the work, right? And you need to be smart about it. And so the excuses where you say, "Oh, you know what? I have a 9 to 5. I used to have a 9 to 5 before I started to do full time my business, right? And who says so many of us aren't doing something else? We're doing something else. You think you're the only one doing what you're doing? So many people too are doing everything. Yeah, yeah, that's true, right? We all have things we're doing. You just need a workaround, right? If your complaint is, I only have time during the weekends and my ideal clients are not there, how do you know? Give me your data. Let me see. Have you done your findings? Your ideal clients are not on Clubhouse during the weekends. Are you sure? What of YouTube? What of Instagram? How about LinkedIn? Oh, still not there? How about you pre-record these lives? Use your third-party app and schedule it to go live when you think these people are there. That's a workaround. And then you just need to hold your phone, right? I'm currently, the direct link to this live is my phone. But if you notice, I'm looking here because I'm also watching myself with my laptop and my other phone, right? So I'm like using 3 screens because I want to see how it's showing in the different channels, right? I want to watch my mouth, the way it's going, right, in the different channels. Okay, so I love to watch myself. So yeah, that's just the way it is, right? So data, like you asked, Allegra, is top priority because you don't want to keep going all over the place, assuming and showing up without a strategy, showing up without informed data, just pushing yourself out there. It's like you're casting your net to just, okay, anywhere it goes, it goes, whatever it catches, it catches. No, don't do that. We've passed that stage. That's it. So Allegra is calculating something. What are you calculating? How much are you seeing right there?
Listen, I'm just, I'm multitasking too. So to your point, I
Okay.
have multiple devices here. Okay, y'all,
Yeah.
listen. There's a lot happening. Okay, so like there's multi streams everywhere. But I think and I said this too, and I think that we have to just bite the bullet that we're not comfortable with ourselves, just really showing up. I think it's that's why you need to enjoy what you do. For me, that's why I need to enjoy what I do. Whatever I'm providing as a service or a product, it's not going to be something because I want to make money. It's because I really want to solve a problem that someone has or that I have that really gives some type of relief and resolve. And when you are able to provide that for someone, they make the exchange easily because they're saying, oh, well, this is the problem I'm already having. And so when we talk about marketing and being able to come on stages and live streams and audio, and we actually say things like who, like I love that TC breaking it down. Who's our audience and where are they? We get to really focus and get into where we need to spend our time better. And I think that is one of the biggest things that come along with, I do the marketing mix a lot, and if you don't know what the marketing mix is, that's something that I teach in my programs. It is very strategic, where it talks about, the product that you're creating, the people that you're serving, the places that you're located, right? And how, like, where you're actually placing this product or service. And when I think about that part of the marketing mix, I think about how are we really thinking in terms of the places we need to be. Something that never went away from me. I went to school for marketing, y'all. So we used to say something all the time. It was in one of these old school books, and it was saying location, location, location. Dr. I was on, so I was like talking to him about it one day, and he started laughing. And it's something that I think is really important to basically, consider actually thinking about that and thinking about what that means. The reason why it's so repetitive and it's so in your face like that is because there are times when we have great products, great services, and we're like, I want to have this amazing business. But if you're not located where your audience can already see you, like to TC's point, then just throw the product away because it's like that building, that new business that opens up down the street, but it's hidden behind another building. People that are driving by cannot see you. That's why storefronts are so important. It's with visual merchandising. All of these things are so important. How they keep the product right there in your face. How, Target and Walmart and all these big major retailers switch up their aisles and put things in the impulse aisle for you. Why? Because they know that you have to be able to see things right in front of your face to really get your emotions going to say, I need that, I want that, whatever the case may be. And so I think, just being able to understand like that part of location, location, location. This is what every big business does. This is what business is. It's not about feelings. And so if we're really talking about being marketable, right? Then you don't have to worry about real estate people are stupid. Why do you say that? When the way you feel about putting your product out there in front of people is the way you feel about you and your value. It's the way you feel about how valuable you and what you provide is. If you feel shy about putting your stuff in front of people, and I'm talking about, I've seen people do this, and people go, "Oh, well, people just don't know." Let me challenge that, okay? Because I have taught people that just don't know, and they're so excited about what they do that they don't have to know to talk about it a lot. They don't have to know that, okay, I gotta be an expert. They just did it and didn't even think it was a thing, and I think that sometimes the way we look at how we feel about all of these ways that we have to show up. Live streams, like I said, that's location. When you go on live stream on Facebook, okay, location, yeah, real estate. Okay, I get what you mean. So, yeah, and that is real estate. It's digital real estate. Like people will complain because they can't buy a physical building, right? They'll be like, man, like I can't buy a physical building, so much money, I can't get a loan for it, I can't afford another mortgage, right? Like people get really upset. Nowadays, you don't even need a physical building to market yourself. You can put yourself on Google My Business, okay? And guess what else you can do? You may not be able to go live there, but you can put your live streams on there if you want to. Child, listen. Google My Business is the bomb. You can promote yourself there, and it's on the largest search engine in the world. When we talk about the statistics from how many people actually look to search for local businesses on Google, that it was huge to me. And so location is important because if you're not listed as a virtual store, and you would have to pay thousands of dollars to get a brick and mortar, you now have a space where you don't have to pay anything, and you get to list your business out there for people who are looking for a business like yours local to them. And now they're like, oh, TeeCee's right down the street from me. I didn't even know I had a business development manager right down the street, right? Well, TeeCee's not that, she's a specialist. But I didn't know I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that was there. But they're just doing a Google search, right? And so being able to be listed and seen, that's really important by itself. But when you take the next step to go do something like say you have that brick and mortar, right? And I compared that to that virtual store in Google. Well, now if you have a brick and mortar, you got to go out and advertise the thing. You have to go out and you have to probably walk door to door, pass out flyers, talk to people, have a little monkey standing outside with a sign, right? Like you got to do all these things to make sure people know, hey, I exist. So when we have that virtual stage now, and we're digital, then you have to do the same thing. But guess what? It's a lot easier. You get to actually go on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter X, or formerly known as Twitter X. You get to go on Clubhouse. You get to go on Pinterest, right? Like you get to go on all these things. And I know Pinterest doesn't do lives or anything like that yet. But listen, if you are wise, you will see that the market changes a lot, but there's nothing new under the sun. You are going to see where apps that see where you're able to now, like, look at Instagram. Instagram has now joined they're joining us in this process. We've been doing live stream on all these multi-channel platforms, but we weren't able to do it on Instagram. So what did they say? Well, let's add it to the pot because we want people to be able to have an opportunity to do more engagement and activity on our social media platform, right? So
Yep.
they're actually upgrading and giving us the opportunity to do that. There are going to be other apps that are going to do the same thing in the future. Mark my words. Okay.
True.
All the apps are going to want to be the same way. They're going to all want to convert to this opportunity to be in the same market, to be able to be competitive in the same market. So if all the other apps allow you to go live stream, what are we going to do as people in the market? We're going to use those apps mostly because can multi-stream. But when Instagram started glitching on y'all, what y'all do? Y'all went to the other line. Y'all was like, no, I'm out. Right? So they gotta stay competitive. And I just wanted to kind of highlight that because when we talked about data, if you're not actually looking at your audience and where they are, I was saying that I wanted to look up some numbers for y'all. And the most used social media platform still to this day is Facebook. I don't know if y'all know that. But it's really funny because we'll have these conversations and I'll give y'all some statistics because if listen, people tell me all the time, Allegra, don't just be saying your opinion. This is not coming from me. This is real data. This is stuff that I've just been like, okay, I see what they're saying. And we have 44.8 billion social media users worldwide. Okay, so that's number one. So whatever platform you're on, you have a lot of people right now to this day that are using social media. And when I look at the increase year after year after year, people are not stopping. There are more people getting educated on how to use these apps, how to get on it. So when we talk about the market changing, we got to realize that we got to always test it. We have to always keep doing lives and audios and saying, hey, what do y'all think? What do y'all see? How do you like this product? I have a launch coming up. I need some beta testers. I want to do a survey. Who wants to join me? There are things that you can do before you even start your business to make sure that you are comfortable talking to your audience and using live streams and audio and something we're going to talk about in the masterclass, which is data. That is important. I teach data to my clients mostly in their business because if they understand how to look at the numbers rather than feel what they feel, then they can make better decisions. And there's
Decisions. Yeah.
something empowering about walking away with this idea that, okay, I thought that it was this way. But when I looked at my data, it showed me that the people that I thought wanted what I had don't actually want that. The people that I thought were having these problems aren't really having those problems. I actually just thought that because of the environment that I was in for so long. I actually thought that because I was taught that. And that's something that just kind of carried with me because I just thought that, I thought that all women like to wear hats. So I just started selling hats to all women, but I didn't realize that men like hats too. I didn't realize they like the fancy church hats too. I didn't know there was a whole population of them that really like just wore hats. So if you look in the market and you actually ask questions to people, you say, well, what is it that you like? And you do that work. That's really where you get confidence around, well, what do I go live about? What do
Yeah.
I talk about on audio? Because now I actually have a conversation to have with you because you told me this. You said that you were having a problem. And since Dr. Al was listening, I'll take an example and you can make it really simple because sometimes we just overthink everything, right? We're
Yeah.
just like, okay, what do I say? What do I say? What to say? Just pick something because you know a lot. You don't need to think of something new and innovative and creative right there on the spot. You can just pull from your database and say, what have people already asked me about? What have they already been curious about? What have I taught on before? And you can
Mhm.
take that same information, y'all. Take a notebook, okay? Write down all of your ideas. This is where we fail because we don't write down the ideas. So I challenge y'all to do this. Take a notebook, write down all of your ideas, and then I want you to come back to the drawing board with your live streams and your audio. I want you to just start talking about each topic one by one. Pick a day, talk about one topic. Pick another day, talk about another topic. And this is one of the assignments that I'm going to be giving in our master class as well. So it may be difficult for you to, do this in a way where you're like, okay, well, I can't focus. I don't have a lot of time. And you have 50 million excuses. But in the master class, we don't have an excuse because we gotta do it together. So just wanted to go to throw it in there. I know we do have to wrap up. I'm gonna get a couple of tips before we leave, and then we want you to DM us for masterclass. DM us your moderator. That's going to give you some access into us giving you the information you need to join us in this 3-day masterclass. And I'm going to talk to TeeCee about the dates because we don't want to cram this in for the holidays for y'all. We know you have a lot going on already. And I was thinking about how you all need to focus on really getting ready for your 2024 goals and just really being mindful about if you are going to take that leap of faith for yourself in your business and really show up like you need to show up in 2024. And we're going to help you do that. But go ahead, TeeCee. I would love to hear your final
Yeah, I love it. And, I would say this, if you're looking to leveling up, so the masterclass is if there's a word like that, but it's super hands on, right? And I feel like for me, it's going to be an opportunity where you get to learn these things, right? Get to say, okay, you know what? How do I do this, right? Or rather, I'm very happy to show you, right? I'm ready, happy to say, okay, you know what? This is the phone. Okay, do this. This is where you go to, and so you're able to get the information step by step. You're able to ask all of your questions. You're able to take advantage of all of this, the strategies that are going to take your business to the next level next year, 2024. That's where you're going to learn it. That's where you're going to get to see them. How you can walk around it. I keep saying that there is always a workaround. Of all of these things, right? We are going to show you that. So it's not only, okay, somebody said this, TeeCee said this, Allegra said this. No, we're not just going to be saying it, we're going to be showing you, so that you know that it's not only possible, like you can do it as well, right? No one is perfect. No one has better heads than you. Like you can do it, right? As long as your ideal customers are are where this channels are situated, you want to find yourself there, and that's basically what we're going to be breaking down. And yeah, we don't have a date, at least for now, right? I'm sure that once we get a date, but you want to take advantage of it, because I know that the slots are very, very limited. So you might just be very shocked to know that when the date is finally out, there is no longer slots for you anymore. So take advantage of it, because we want it to be as intimate as possible, just so that we're able to get you in the know of this. Hands on is hands on. That's the word, right? And so ask the questions, find out how you can be a part of it, and just take advantage of it, right? Because you not only want to, you might go to YouTube, but YouTube is not going to show you. YouTube is not going to say, come here, okay, look at it, look at this button, look at this side. No, YouTube is not going to do that. YouTube doesn't have that patience, because what you're watching on YouTube, right, is somebody's sat down video. Like you're still going to watch this on YouTube, right? But no one is going to show you, like, say, oh, okay, fix it. So, no, 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 come back here. Nah, right? 1 hour, it's 1 hour. And you're not going to get all of those other things in the mix. Okay, so take advantage of it and get your business working for you. That's the goal.
Thank you, TC. I appreciate those words. And TC, drop your link so people can directly connect with you as well. Because even though we do this masterclass, and we're going to have it in January, only because we don't want to cram it in to December for you, but we will have the link for you by tomorrow to make sure you have that access. But we do want to make sure that we answer your questions before we just throw an access link at you, because we have to understand what exactly you're looking for. There's some things that I've noticed about the live streams and audios where we even had a room. We said how to moderate on LinkedIn, and we do that room on Mondays now. So I rescheduled it for Monday. Well, not I added it on the schedule for Monday, because I thought it was very interesting when I looked back at the data and I saw how many comments we had after the room was over. I was like, oh wow, like people actually really enjoyed that and wanted that room. They wanted to learn those things. And some of the questions we had on stage really surprised me about, like, well, I want to get a training. And this is kind of where this idea came from. When someone was like, can you train us on technical or technology and how to use LinkedIn, from different points, right? And they even asked the question like, well, can you do videos on LinkedIn? And we're like, absolutely. And I just thought that was so interesting, because, sometimes I believe that we don't even attempt ourselves to go on the app and to see everything first before we just use it. We're just like, okay, well, I'll just use it. And every app is different. Every app is different. And so we
Yeah.
have to kind of walk you through a very fine tuning process of, okay, this is the app you're using. This is where you start. Okay. Not just, how do I get on there and start a conversation? Because before you even set up that room, this is something that came up in the clubhouse room that we did. Before you set up that room, which is what we call the live audio. So the live audios, we call them like rooms on Clubhouse mainly. But you have audio on LinkedIn too. Has audio as well. So you have these audio spaces that are there, okay? And for that, you got to make sure you have a good conversation ready to be had. Also, what a lot of people lack is structure. Someone was asking on another stage, can you have this room because I lack structure? I don't know the way that you talk to the audience, the way that you pull back and you kind of bring the conversation back to the room when someone says something that throws the room off, the way that address people by name, the way that you actually structure your conversation to actually start with the introduction and then end with a final close, right? Like there's things that you do when you're curating a space, especially when it's for people and learning. And so these are things that we really want to teach you from the bottom to from the not from the bottom, but from the basics, right? From really being able to understand why you're using it first of all. And if you're using it because you're just like, oh well, I just figured I should be on it. Well, one of the questions we asked, right, TC, we said, why? Like, is your audience there? Where's your audience? Do you know who your audience is? And the answer was no, I don't know who my audience is. So before you go on a live stream or an audio, don't even think about doing that until you discover who your audience is. And myself and TeeCee, when we listen, when we put this out for y'all, we're going to have a structured approach on how you're going to walk through this 3-day process with us. And part of that is really going to go back to those basics too. If you don't understand who your audience is, if you don't, like, really seriously, I've had people come through different coaching programs, and they've come on my stages, and I know what those coaching programs involve because I've either been through it or I know the person running the program. And when they say things like, "I don't know this, but I know the program teaches that," it shows me there's a lack of listening, a lack of understanding, really not really grasping concepts, right? And so a lot of us are getting the education, like YouTube University, but we're not grasping it. We're not understanding how to use it, and then we're kind of repeating these same mistakes. So when we go through this process of really identifying audience, we have well, I know I haven't told teachers this, but there's an actual activity that we're going to go through, and it's going to tell you exactly who your audience is or audiences are, because you have different target audiences, you have different what we call client avatars, and you need to
Yeah.
understand how you're going to reach those audiences, whether they're on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on YouTube, right? And if you know that, hey, my audience is on all those platforms, well, guess what? Go on a stream, like we're on StreamYard right now. Shout out to StreamYard, and make sure that you right, like StreamYard is wrong. Make sure that you just attach the actual channels that you want to be able to speak on, and let that be your way of just consistently providing good content, whether it's sharing your stories, topics of interest, interviews, whether it's giving advice. You can do like new launches, right? Promotions. Like, there's so many things that you can do when you come on stage and platforms that you own. And so we're going to talk more about that when we come back. TeeCee, did you drop your link already? Do they have a way to connect with you?
Okay, so just DM me. No, let's focus on the masterclass, right? But if you want to connect with me maybe for your launches, you need help implementing all of these strategies from your funnels to your automated system, all of those great stuff. Just DM me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, with the word systems, right? Let me help you streamline your systems. And I'm not just saying teach you, I'm saying do it for you, right? Because I love to do it, right? I love to do it for you just so you're able to focus on your zone of genius, which is not the back end of your business. That's my space. That's why I love to stay. So give it to me. Let me keep staying there while you focus on the front end of your business. So just, DM me. I know it's you from this space. If you DM me the word systems across all of the channels, just come into my DM, okay? But the focus right now, like I said, is getting you positioned right for your effortless marketing. So make sure that you either DM myself or Allegra with the word moderator. Another call to action is follow us, okay? Wherever you're viewing this from, on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, because there's so much coming. Okay, there's so much coming up for you, and you don't want to miss it, and you just want to be a part of it. So yeah, that's it. That's it for me. Let me see.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. I heard. Thank you so much, TeeCee. Yes, and DM TeeCee. Make sure you get with her. You can DM for the masterclass. We already told you that word is their moderator. I want to make sure that you all just have the support you need. We can talk all day about what it is that you can do for your business, right? Like I said, I work with you on your planning process first, and that's something that I'm very strict about. I'm not the coach for everyone, and that is amazing because I've run across lots of clients, and I'm just like, okay, there's some mindset work there that you need. I do not do with mindset, so I do have partners that I can pass you down to or over to, not down, but over to, and make sure that you have a way of really working on that part, right? I'm actually, in talks with partnering up with therapists because I have some clients that, really I would love to offer them a way to combine their planning process in their business with working on their mindset and getting the therapy they need too. And that's a big thing because we kind of go through a lot in our world, y'all. So being able to work on your business does require you to also have your thinking cap on, making sure you're managing yourself, being self-aware, and all those things. Sometimes, we have to work through our traumas, and there's just different levels of that. So I want to be able to have, some spaces for y'all where you don't have to feel so trapped when you're starting your business, that you don't feel like you have to go in multifaceted directions just to get what you need all in one. I also partner with TeeCee. We have a way of working together where if you need work on your business and in your business at the same time, we have a retainer that we put together for y'all. So we have a couple people that have reached out for that. And we are really just working diligently to make sure that you just have all the support you need, with
Yeah.
that being your CRM, your email marketing, building your website, making sure that you have all of the marketing tools set in place to promote yourself moving forward in 2024. All right, so we got to get out of here. Y'all have an amazing day. I'm going to end the live stream here and on Instagram. Y'all tell me how it went for us, and we will see y'all later. All right, bye, y'all. Have a great night.